The crystalline chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Ambassador Sarah Chen stood from her seat, her dark eyes reflecting the cold fury that humanity had suppressed for far too long. Beside her, Commander Leo Martinez remained seated, his jaw clenched as he watched the 11 species that comprised the Council's ruling body. "You cannot be serious," High Executor Zathrin hissed, his three-fingered hand striking the obsidian table. The reptilian leader of the Krill Dominion leaned forward, his scales shifting from deep purple to angry crimson. "Humanity does not dictate terms to this council." Sarah's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "We're not dictating anything, High Executor. We're simply leaving." She gathered her data tablets with deliberate slowness, each movement precise and controlled. "After 6 months of negotiations where you've denied every reasonable request, dismissed our evidence of the border raids, and blamed us for defending our colonies, we've concluded that peace talks are unproductive." The Valkyrie representative, a being of pure energy contained within a magnetic field, pulsed with what the translation matrix rendered as confusion. "You would choose war over diplomacy? This is not the human way. You pride yourselves on your patience, your rationality." Leo finally stood, his military uniform crisp despite the long sessions. At 6'4", he towered over most species in the room, and he used every inch of that height now. "Our patience has limits. Our rationality led us to conclude that you're stalling, while your allies continue raiding our shipping lanes and attacking our settlements." Unproven accusations. The Mothari delegate's wings fluttered in agitation, creating a sound like rustling paper. "You have no concrete evidence. We've provided 17 detailed reports," Sarah interrupted, her voice sharp as broken glass. "Wreckage analysis, survivor testimonies, weapons signatures matching Krill manufacture. You've dismissed every single piece of evidence as insufficient or circumstantial." She paused, letting the weight of her words settle over the chamber. "But we're done trying to convince you." The council chamber erupted into chaos. Multiple species began speaking at once, their translation feeds overlapping into a cacophony of indignation and disbelief. The humans had been model galactic citizens for the 70 years since first contact, peaceful, cooperative, eager to learn and contribute. This defiance was unprecedented. Sarah and Leo walked toward the exit, their footsteps echoing in the vast space. Behind them, Supreme Arbiter Qualeth, the eldest member of the council, raised a tendril for silence. The ancient being's voice resonated with authority that had governed the galaxy for millennia. "If you walk through that door, humanity will be considered in violation of the Treaty of Centauri Prime. You will face sanctions, embargoes, and potential military action from the entire Galactic Alliance." Sarah stopped at the threshold but didn't turn around. "Then I suppose we'll face them." Leo did turn, his expression carved from stone. "You've made a calculation error, Supreme Arbiter. You've assumed that because we chose peace, we were incapable of war. That because we cooperated, we were weak. That because we followed your laws, we had forgotten how to break them. Threats are beneath you." "Commander," Zathrin sneered. "That wasn't a threat," Leo replied calmly. "It was an observation. You've spent 70 years watching humanity in peacetime. You've never seen us at war." The council members exchanged glances, some uncertain, others dismissive. The Krill Dominion alone possessed a fleet of 10,000 warships. The Valkyrie could weaponize stars. The combined might of the Galactic Alliance was beyond comprehension. What could one species do? "You're outnumbered, outgunned, and isolated," Zathrin said with confidence. "Your bravado is admirable but foolish." Sarah finally turned, and something in her expression made several council members shift uncomfortably. "You know what humanity's greatest weakness is, according to your own intelligence reports. We feel too much. We're too emotional, too attached to our own." She smiled, and this time it was all teeth. "You're about to learn why that's actually our greatest strength." The doors sealed behind them with a resonant boom that seemed to echo through the very foundations of the council headquarters. Inside, an uneasy silence descended. "They're bluffing," Zathrin declared, though his scales had paled slightly. "Recall the terms of immediate surrender we'll offer them in 3 cycles. When their economy collapses." Supreme Arbiter Qualeth said nothing, but its ancient mind processed thousands of years of galactic history. Every species that had joined the Council had done so from a position of weakness, seeking protection and prosperity. Every species except humanity, who had joined as equals, who had given as much as they received. Every species except humanity, who had unified their entire world. Before reaching the stars, something no other species had accomplished, who had gone from atmospheric flight to faster-than-light travel in barely 2 centuries, who had spread across their arm of the galaxy with terrifying speed once given the technology. Perhaps, Qualeth said slowly, we should review humanity's pre-contact history more carefully. Their wars? The Mothari delegate scoffed. Primitive conflicts with chemical weapons and nuclear arms. Nothing compared to modern warfare. No, Qualeth corrected, its tendrils tightening with something that might have been anxiety. Review what they accomplished during those wars. Review how they innovated. Review what they're capable of when they stop holding back. 3 weeks later, as Krill raiding parties began disappearing without trace, as human ships appeared and vanished like ghosts across the border regions, as colonies that should have fallen in days held out with impossible defenses, the Galactic Council began to understand. Humanity hadn't forgotten how to fight. They had simply chosen not to until now. And in the darkness between the stars, Sarah Chen and Leo Martinez stood on the bridge of the newly commissioned HSCS Retribution, watching their fleet of 300 ships built in secret over 2 decades, just in case power up their weapon systems. Think they'll try to negotiate now? Leo asked quietly. Sarah's reflection in the view screen showed a woman who carried the weight of her entire species. Eventually, after they realize what they've unleashed, and will we accept? She was quiet for a long moment. That depends on whether they're willing to actually listen this time. Otherwise, she gestured to the fleet around them, each ship bearing the scars of humanity's determination. We finish what they started. The greatest mistake the Galactic Council had ever made wasn't underestimating humanity's weapons or technology. It was forgetting that peace was a choice humanity made every single day. And choices could always be unmade. And